In the top stories, 2 men appear in court charged with stealing sweet potatoes from 2 farms. Prime Minister Freundel Stuart rubbishes the opposition's no confidence motion, and UWI Blackbirds are the senior netball knockout queens. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, April 11th, 2016. I'm Natasha Beckles. Two men have appeared in court accused of stealing thousands of dollars in sweet potatoes. Police say the arrests represent a breakthrough in a spate of crop thefts which occurred last year. 41-year-old Ian Emerson Bennett and 52-year-old Seymour DaCosta Innes, both of Cliff St. John, appeared in the District C Magistrates Court on Monday, charged with stealing from Edgecombe Plantation and Armagh Farms between April and December. Mr. Bennett pleaded guilty to stealing over 90 rods of the crop and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. Mr. Innes denied stealing over 20 rods of potatoes and was remanded until May 9th. Meanwhile, 48-year-old Yvette May Butcher of Chapel No. 1 St. Philip is accused of having no certificate of purchase for 178 kilograms of sweet potatoes which were found in her possession on April 8th. She was granted $1,000 bail and will return to court on June 27th. The lack of payment for the correction of Caribbean Examination Council school-based assessments remains a sore point for the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union. It was one of the issues discussed when members attended a mass meeting on Monday ahead of the start of the new school term on Tuesday. BSTU President Mary Redmond said teachers' workload had increased without any consultation.
This is a struggle that that has been ongoing since 2006. And CXC, in regarding quote-unquote our struggle, has sought to introduce even more SBAs in the programs that they have introduced or been able to influence the Ministry of Education to adopt within our system. We have seen the introduction of CCSLC. We have seen the introduction of CVQs, both of which have either SBA elements or greatly influence the already existing elements of CSEC, existing SBA elements of CSEC, because that is what the CVQs do, as you are now forced to teach both CSEC and CVQ syllabus simultaneously.
Ms. Redmond said there was nothing in the Education Act or regulations that says teachers have to correct externally set and moderated exams. Prime Minister Freundel Stuart has dismissed the threat of a no-confidence motion by the opposition Barbados Labour Party. Addressing a DLP branch meeting on Sunday, he said the move had nothing to do with his government or its performance.
It has very little to do with us. That is really a no-confidence motion being brought to shore up the fortunes of the leader of the opposition, the leader of the Barbados Labour Party. That's what it's about. Her opponents in the parliamentary group are being challenged to vote other than she wants them to vote, because if they do that, there will be a carnival of expulsions, and they already have the candidate who they say will replace George Payne, the one who they say will replace Ronald Dobbin, who will replace Kerry Simmons, but they don't like him at all, and the one who will replace Dale Marshall, and the other dissidents in that group, and they have said, once we get the cupboards cleaned out, we've got rid of Owen Arthur and Airguard already, we can then bring in a whole set of people who owe their loyalty only to Mayor Motley.
Mr. Stuart also urged residents not to be worried about the latest downgrade by international credit rating agency Moody's. He said government's plan to stabilize the economy is working.
From time to time, there will be occasions when we don't meet exactly the expectations of those who are assessing us But that is no cause for anybody in this room or outside of it to believe that Barbados is on the way down. Not true. We continue to be the envy of people across the entire developing world. And I know because when I go, I hear them talking. And people who visit this country feel very strongly about it and say so.
Attorney at law Arthur Holder has been nominated to lead the Barbados Labour Party's fight to regain the St. Michael Central constituency. He received 271 votes to Hallie Haynes' 50 during a meeting at the George Lamon Primary School on Sunday night. The incumbent is Steve Blackett, who beat Mr. Holder by 39 votes in the last general election. The next election is constitutionally due in 2018. Yet another business is hoping to reduce its electricity bill through the use of solar energy. Assistant General Manager of Chickmont Foods Limited, Jeffrey Goddard, says $2 million has been invested in a company-wide solar photovoltaic system. He outlined the plan on Monday during a visit from Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe. Mr. Goddard said the company also plans to open a new state-of-the-art chicken farm next month, which will accommodate 30,000 birds. Students of the Lawrence T. Gay Memorial School will return to the 3 temporary sites they occupied last term when the new school term begins on Tuesday. Classes were shifted from the Spooners Hill St. Michael location due to an environmental problem. The Ministry of Education says Class 3 and 4 students will report to the Breath of Life Seventh-day Adventist Church, while pupils of Class 1 and 2 will be located once again at the Sarah Ann Gill Methodist Church. Those in reception, infants A and B, will be housed at the Grace Hill Moravian Church. In sport, UWI Blackbirds rode more accurate shooting to win back-to-back netball senior knockout titles on Saturday night at the Netball Stadium. Blackbirds beat Pine Hill St. Barnabas 38-35 despite having fewer attempts at goals. It was the difference in a match marked by tight defense and unforced errors in the center court. UWI also won the Intermediate 2 title, one of 4 decided that night. The loss denied St. Barnabas a sweep of their matches, as they also won the Intermediate and Junior knockout crowns. The league gets underway on Monday evening. And staying with netball, Jamaica are the Jean Pierre Youth Champions again. On Friday night, Jamaica beat defending champions Barbados 35-21 in a match which did not live up to billing. Jamaica took a decisive 11-2 lead at the start of the first quarter and kept control throughout. On to basketball, where the future looks bright in the Pine. On Saturday night, future Pinelands beat YMCA Wildcats 49-35 to win the Basketball Association's Under-16 title. The players saved their best for last with a dominating display. MVP Kisirian Adams led the way with 19 points, while the Odell brothers, Alexander and Xavier, scored 10 points each for the Wildcats. College Lions beat Bucaneros 50-40 to take 3rd place. And finally, in what sounds like something out of a movie, 3 men were rescued from a Pacific island after spelling out the word help using palm leaves. The trio became stranded on Monday after a wave swamped their boat and they had to swim to the uninhabited Fanadik Island. A Navy crew found them after 3 days, first noticing a fire they made, then the makeshift sign. And that's where we end Nation News for Monday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thank you so much for joining us.